When we stepped off the plane in London, and I was looking around and hanging out, I was like, wow, you come here from the projects, and you're international now.
I'm curious to kind of know about your life before things got like settled in terms of living single. You know, what was going on like with your life? Were you struggling to figure things out, or where were you? What was going on?
I was doing my craft. When I left, I went to school for architecture and interior design down at the University of Illinois, but I didn't finish because I was working two jobs and trying to go to school too. It was just too much, and I really wanted to do. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to sing. I wanted to dance, and I felt that I was wasting time at school. So I had about a semester and a half left to go, and I bounced. To the chagrin of my mother, she was not very happy about that. But
I bet.
I told her I'm paying for it.
Right.
You know, if y'all were footing the bill, then but I'm paying for it, and I don't want to do it like that anymore. So came back to Chicago. Was working for a minute. My father worked as a doorman. I didn't grow up with my dad. I didn't grow up with him, but our families were connected through other relatives. So I knew who he was, he knew who I was.
Right.
And I started forging a relationship with him, like kind of when I got in college. We started.
You felt pressure to do that? Or?
No, I wanted to.
Okay.
I wanted to. This is somebody I had been seeing all my life. At a certain point, he wasn't coming through anymore because my mother was seeing somebody else, so he wasn't hanging out like that. But we still would keep in touch. Mm-hmm. And I was able to hang out with him more as I got older. So when I got out of school, he got me a job as a doorman at 2626 Lakeview on the north side of Chicago. And I stayed there for maybe about a year or so.
Right.
Working as a doorman. I hated that job. God, I hated that job.
What made you hate the job?
It was just, to be real honest, and you said you want truth, the subservience of it.
Yeah. As a man?
Yes. As a black man. I just didn't like it. But I knew it was a means to an end. I knew I had to, have a gig. So left there and got involved with the Free Street Theater in Chicago, which is a outdoor theater. They basically go to the different neighborhoods and set up this outdoor stage, and they do shows all day. So we would go to different project areas. We would go to the areas that were underserved, that didn't get theater. Yeah. And we would go and interface with the people there and be a whole day, and we'd play with the kids and we'd do the shows and sing. It was really nice. And it helped me to hone a lot of different skills that I had not used before. I danced more. We learned sign language, and it was really good just to be out amongst the people and to give that way. That show also got me to Europe, got me out of the country for the first time. We did a show called Project that was based off of interviews with the people in the Cabrini Green Project. And the actual piece comprised of 75% project folks and then 25% actors, professional actors. And it was really it was one of the best experiences I've had in my life.
Were those moments the things that shaped you, or was it just influenced by mom, or was it just these collections of the environment around you think kind of molded who you were to become?
I think it's all of it. When we stepped off the plane in London, and I was looking around and hanging out, I was like, wow, you come here from the projects, and you're international now. We went to London, we went to Scotland, then we came back here and we did a States tour of the show, which is really a cutting edge show. He used video, but in a way that I hadn't seen it done before. We had these towers that represented the Cabrini Green towers, but they were towers of TVs.
Wow.
And he would put the interviews on the TVs in between the scenes and stuff. And I had never seen anything like it.
Your career would kind of move along. How long would you end up doing that particular show?
That was off and on for like maybe 5-6 years. You know, he fired me a couple of times. He hired me back.
Like financially, was that like your source to pull from?
That, and then I was working at a bakery for a while. What else did you do, TC? Sang with a couple of bands, but it was all art-centered. And then I started doing theater in Chicago,
Right.
and that started paying. That was a more steady
Right.
form of income.
How many years went by and then this living single thing would hit?
Living Single hit like in '93, I think. But before then, I had done a show called Key West,
Okay.
and that was with Fisher Stevens and Jennifer Tilly, and it was filmed down in Key West, Florida. And that was my first television show. Before that, we had done a TV movie called Fast Break to Glory, which was about the DuSable Panthers in Chicago. It was the first black basketball team that made it to the Illinois State Championship, and the trials and tribulations that they went through to get there. We won Emmys for that, actually. That was my first on-screen.
Yeah. And then you get a call, an email, in terms of, hey, there's an audition happening? Or?
Well, yeah, I got the call for the audition. We sent the tape in, and they said no. I was like, okay, cool, you know, and go on with your business, you know, audition and do whatever you're doing. A few weeks later, they called back and said they want you to come to L.A. for a screen test for this character.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was over. They said no, they couldn't find what they were looking for, so they want you to come.
They ever express why they told you no?
No.
You just got them just not interested?
I don't even ask.
Yeah.
I don't even ask, because it's all subjective. All of it is subjective, so you don't know why they're telling you no. They may not like what you have on today. They may not like your voice. They don't like your glasses. You know, it's that petty.
That's
sometimes.
important for, I think, actors to hear that coming from someone like yourself. Because I know actors, and they take a lot of, when they get rejected, some of the new ones take it really personal, and they...
You can't do, I mean, the thing I realized about auditioning a long time ago, it's all about a performance. If you go in and have a good performance, you leave it alone. They do what they do with that. But if you don't go in and do your gig, then you can be upset. If you go in and mess up and don't do what you're supposed to do, then you get to go home and beat yourself up or whatever. But if you go in and do a good audition, you do what you do with that. I did what I was supposed to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So ultimately, they will call you to L.A.
Yep. Called me in. I got there on a Monday. We screen test on Tuesday, and I went to work on Wednesday.